tell you one story. And that has to do with a woman who lives next to the park. And her property was once inside the park. And when the federal government and the states bought the land to become a national park, she was pretty critical. When I was acting superintendent of the park, we had a special event. And this woman asked if she could speak. And she had written a poem. She was 80 something, 88 years old. She stood on the stage. She had everyone in tears because she says, as she looked around the communities and where's all the development that's occurred and all the people that have come here, you know, she said, had it not been for the National Park Service, had it not been for the fact that the people of this country established this park, these mountains would have been ruined. And she said, I am so grateful that there's a national park here.
The U.S. Forest and National Park Services were hit with major staffing cuts. The terminations are ongoing, and they include 1,000 national parks employees.
Visitors to America's national parks are already seeing the effects of the cuts and layoffs by the Trump administration.
What do we want? Rangers! When do we want them? Now! What do we want? Rangers! When do we want them? Now!
Every succeeding generation of Americans, through their elected representatives, have added those places that they believe are special to the national park system. The two main missions of the Park Service: to protect the resources and to provide enjoyment and to maintain it unimpaired for future generations. The concern about that now is whether we're going to be able to continue that effectively.
We've never had budget cuts as large as it looks like we're going to have. It's almost we're in an emergency level. We looked at all of the park's budgets, and we started with the park that received the smallest budget. We knew we were possibly going to have to cut $900 million from the budget. And so when we started going up the list and adding those numbers together of each park, it would cut 350 parks completely out. That's 350 out of 433.
In the last 6 months or so, the number of permanent employees in the National Park Service has gone down by about 24%.
We once had over 20,000 employees in the national park system. Those numbers are down closer to 13,000 now. Yet visitation is at an all-time high, 331 million.
The consequences of that aren't necessarily immediately apparent to the visiting public. Most people who are coming into national parks right now may experience a little bit of difference in visitor center hours or custodial maintenance or trail maintenance. But the real problem is going to be the loss of two things. One is experienced leadership. We know that many of the 2,500 or so people that took one of the buyout early retirement opportunities that were available for the senior leaders. We know that there are 100 vacant superintendent positions, roughly. We know that 5 of the 7 regional director jobs are vacant. Many of those people who took the buyouts and have left were the professional specialist positions like engineers, biologists, curators. That means that protection of many of the collections in parks of artifacts, which in many cases are very, very fragile, that's where the real impact is going to occur. And once those things are gone, they're gone.
And in fiscal year 2010, that budget was $3.1 billion. 2023, the Park Service's budget was the same. Inflation would have driven that $3.1 billion to $4.6 billion, but it was still at 3.1. And these local communities are really dependent upon the economic benefits of these national parks. It produces some $55 billion in economic benefit to our country. Why would anyone cut a budget that has such a great return on investment? So that doesn't make sense to me. People love these places. This is America's special places. And that's happening through 520,000 acres right now, 900 miles of trails.
Park Service just isn't able to carry out its mission in some of the parks.